You're listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It is 19 hours 21 in Guyana and right across the eastern Caribbean. I don't see the man of the moment in studio as yet. He seems like he is delayed. So what I will do, upon awaiting his arrival, I will play a message from him that he would have did for you. And we hope if you haven't gotten the opportunity to listen to it, this is going to be a time now where you can. So I'll play that message for you. And as soon as that message is over, what we will do is bring to you the Wednesday edition of the LALL Show.
Guyana, when will you wake up? Raphael Trotman signed a deal on 1 billion barrel of oil in Liza 1 and 2. The whole world, including Vice President Jagdeo and President Ali, agrees that the contract is not good for Guyana, and they both promised better contract management and renegotiation when they get into power. Since then, Guyana has discovered 10 times more oil, and instead VP Jagdeo and President Ali call ExxonMobil back to the drawing board. They keep on approving more and more projects without correcting and getting a better deal. VP Jagdeo went ahead and approved Payara, the third project, and got not even a penny more for this nation. Jagdeo did not even correct the mistakes made in Liza 1 and 2 when he approved that third project. Months later, he went further and approved Yellowtail, the fourth oil project. And again, he got nothing, absolutely nothing, for the starving Guyanese out of that project. The mistakes made in Liza 1, 2, and 3 were not corrected in that fourth project. Not even the guarantee Exxon parent company promised in Liza 1, 2, and 3 to give us full liability coverage in the event of an oil spill was not secured in the fourth project he approved. Both projects, 20 billion American dollars, was without a proper and comprehensive export review. Again, he did not heed the advice of experts to install ring fencing provision to prevent ExxonMobil from taking advantage on us with US billions. He did not even get the oil companies to pay their taxes on the oil they're fetching away out this country. Something that every working Guyanese pays in this land. Now, he's gearing up to approve the fifth project, giving the oil companies the biggest Christmas gift they would have ever had in their lifetime. Brothers and sisters, having heard all of that, are you going to sit quiet and allow him to grant this fifth approval without correcting the mistakes and securing a better deal for all of us? This is a message from LALL. Guyana.
And you've just heard the message there from the man of the moment, LALL. At this time, it is 19 hours 25. There is no show of him in studio. So maybe he is definitely running late. I don't want to keep you waiting. So what I will do, I've decided to bring to you a rebroadcast of the LALL show. And I hope you guys will pay keen attention as we await, of course, join us on Friday, because it seems that he will not be here tonight. But what we will do is bring to you a rebroadcast of a previous program. And of course, we hope that you will pay keen attention. And it is ExxonMobil Manager Routledge selling Guyana on the Critic Show a dead pig in a bag for diamonds and want us to buy that. His smooth word make you believe that it is just pickled pine with the head on can go down a child's throat easily. All right, so that should be picked pine with the head rather can go down a child's throat easily. I'll now bring to you that rebroadcast.
You know, Miss Harris, let me say back namaste again. And I want to thank all you people for joining me every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday to listen to this program. I felt very happy and delighted when I go to places and people see me, you know, the reception I get of appreciation for what I do. I want to say thank you to all you guys. Thanks a million. With that type of solidarity, it gives me the strength to keep on doing what I'm doing and feeling that spirit of love and happiness within my soul. Thank you, guys. Let's get going, Miss Harris, tonight's program. There are two ways to conquer and enslave a nation. One is by the sword, and the other is by death. Not killing. Owing, I'm talking about, D-E-B-T. John Adams, the second U.S. president, words that, not mine. With that, I now say, pressure. What you ever hear? They say pressure is boss. Pipe? Yes. Pressure is mounting from all corners of the political arena. And the oil companies to defend this stage 4 cancer oil contract we have. People are beginning to wake up all across the globe as to what ExxonMobil is being allowed to do to us with our wealth. And I love it. On Saturday, Uncle, there was a 3-hour discussion on our oil in New York. They had a symposium. It was well attended and had some beautiful presenters. The heat is boiling and spilling all across this land too. And it is getting under the skin of our politicians, and it is biting the oil companies' bosses. Oh boy, they bring in a white man 2 weeks ago to preach to us what a great contract we have. Yes, with massive benefits for all of us. When he was tackled by the audience, including me, he backtracked and confessed it was only their thoughts and opinions. Simply put, he was brought here by the government and Exxon to sell us a dead, stinking pig in a bag as diamonds, great diamonds. And none other than the Chamber of Commerce partnered with ExxonMobil and the government and facilitated this man with a press conference to fool us with false dreams, to make us believe that big money awaits us all. But when the session was over, Miss Harris, the white man turned up again. What was even more sickening was that the chamber members were there listening to this confounded nonsense being thrown at the Guyanese people and didn't say a single word.
Lapping it up like dogs in heat.
It speaks volume, eh? Then we have an online news source parading themselves as a reliable and trustworthy news outfit on oil. when everything they do mirrors that white man will come to sell me a piggy bag. Our own people are selling us a 6 for 9, knowing fully well what they're doing to this country.
Propaganda.
That is sad, eh?
Propaganda, sir.
They're putting out charts that does not tell the whole truth or the full story, and are not ashamed to put their faces on some of these things. You hear me, man? For example, Janelle Passad, a Guyanese who works with ExxonMobil, is seen in a story which did not paint the true picture of what is going on in this country. Man, it is sad, very sad, that our own can be recruited by the foreigners to sell us these stories that does not add up. Isn't that sad, man?
It's like they're begging to
And that is not the only local online news source doing this type of hatchet job for ExxonMobil against Guyana, Miss Harris. That is not the only one or the only people. They have many more. Whether they are being paid by Exxon and the government to do this type of thing, I don't know. And I don't care. But what I care about is when they help the foreigners to mislead, disrespect, and joke us in our eyes while they are wide open with their deception. That's what I care about. That's what I feel hurt about. The white overseer or the white massas. The white massa. You ever heard the word massa? Yeah, man.
Slavery is worse than
You know we have massa now?
worse than slavery.
They never left. They just changed clothes.
Well, the white overseer, the white massa, Manager Routledge, representing Exxon in Guyana, has never held a press conference with the mainstream independent media to talk to us frankly and honestly about our oil wealth. But this same massa is very happy to sit with a man named Critic, a Bacali social media performer, to sell us that same dead stinking pig in a bag. He was asked, Uncle and Auntie, by the same Critic last week, whether Guyana got a bad contract. Hear what is Massa telling Guyana. I'm going to play it for you guys. Could you play that tape for me, please?
Why,
Play it.
if I might ask in this forum, have Guyanese gotten such a bad contract? That is what I'm getting from.
It's far from the truth. This is
What
the
happened?
best
You sleep with-
contract the country has ever.
Give them a minute.
He's not awake. Right. My operator seems to be nodding. So maybe I have to find another medium because I have to play this for you guys. I have to. Just give me a moment, please. Just give me a moment. Hear him.
Why, if I might ask in this forum, have Guyanese gotten such a bad contract? That is what I'm getting from.
It's far from the truth. This is the best contract the country has ever had. The most valuable contract for the country. I mean, it is already delivering unprecedented revenues to the country and to the Natural
Cent.
Resource Fund. And it will deliver huge amounts more in the future. We're really only just getting going.
I gotta play it back, man. You gotta hear him.
Why, if I might ask in this forum, have Guyanese gotten such a bad contract? That is what I'm getting from.
It's far from the truth. This is the best contract the country has ever had. The most valuable contract for the country. I mean, it is already delivering unprecedented revenues to the country and to the Natural
Cent.
Resource Fund. And it will deliver huge amounts more in the future. We're really only just getting going.
The Manager Routledge. The man said it is far from the truth. This is the best contract the country has ever had. The most valuable contract for the country. I mean, it is already delivering unprecedented revenues to the country into the Natural Resource Fund. And it will deliver huge amounts more in the future. We are really only just getting going. His words. Unprecedented revenues. And huge to come. This is how this white man sees us, uncle. Throw a few pennies at you in the NRF fund and call that unprecedented revenues to your country. That's what we are worth with this US $1 trillion oil find. Billions for them, pennies for we.
That's unprecedented.
We are monkeys. And he is the master feeding us the nuts with one hand and snatch it out back with the other hand. Meaning the 2% royalties we're getting is recoverable. They're taking it back. This slick massa, Manager Routledge, already the man had a smooth, Miss Harris, well-prepared answer, memorized and crammed to shove down we throat. Uncle, auntie, when I hear these things, when I hear these people speak and how they talk it, honestly, Bernard, I am enraged. The bile, the acid in my stomach rises to my throat to tell these people, don't play these African and Asian games with we, the Guyanese people. We have already seen through your nakedness, Routledge. To tell this nation that this is the best contract the country has ever had is now rubbing salt and pepper, Miss Harris, in the wound on we backs already inflicted by ExxonMobil with that contract. That's what these people are doing. Manager Routledge, we have news for you. All of us are not dumb, and all of us are not corrupt as you would like us to be.
Yes.
We can see through your nakedness, and we will expose you and your company for what you and who your company really are. The best contract the country has ever had, man. For who?
Exactly.
For who, Massa? Delivering unprecedented revenues to this country? Is what money this Massa talking about, man?
Exactly.
Where is the money, Massa?
I want to look for it.
You didn't tell Critic what you and your company and the rest of the oil companies taken out of Guyana within this contract. You didn't say nothing about that. You didn't tell Critic how your partner, Hess Corporation, boasting and bragging all over the world about how much they're taking out presently and how much more in the US billions they will be taking out in the years to come. No. The contract you said, delivering unprecedented revenues to this country. Where is the money, Massa? Where is the unprecedented revenues, Massa? When Guyanese can't afford to buy food to get a proper meal when the day come. Is what you're trying to sell we. Garbage or filth? Or you expect the people to eat filth? Miss Harris? These people are past Guyana.
More than.
More than that.
More than.
He went on to say, Uncle and Auntie, the contract will deliver huge amounts more in the future.
For whom?
Exactly. Is who really this man talking to man? Huh?
Shareholders. His
You
shareholders.
you got to be going all the while from now on to talk to that clown. Yes, critic. Is he you gotta go sit down with, because it is only he when now hanging in mouth where the soup dripping would swallow that trash that coming from your mouth. We get the best contract ever had, delivering money like we never see before, and how much more to come. Man, Bernard, if this is not I pass, you know, this man I pass every Guyanese in this country. I spit on it. I want to urinate on it. And I want to do something worse than that. But I can't say it. Bernard, if this is not enough to bring out rage across this land, with this level of I pass, then I don't know what else it will take, Miss Harris. For this massa to tell us that we are really only now getting going with what they're doing to us at present, Miss Harris, raking in all the billions of US dollars and throwing those 2 pennies at us. You don't want to know, Bernard. You can't imagine, Uncle, what they will do to you and me and this country when they really get going. Man, all the streets should be filled. Should be filled. I am going out tomorrow morning at Houston alone to protest. Please join me with a placard. I will give you back your passage tomorrow 10 o'clock at Houston on the east bank of Demerara. Manager Routledge must feel our rage and our disgust with his insults.
Yes.
I pass
Yes.
and disrespect
Yes.
for the Guyanese people.
Yes.
All Guyanese.
Yes.
He should never sit. He would never sit in a white man country like where he come from and disrespect the American people with that contract he's telling us is the best Guyana can ever have.
Yes.
But he can come to Guyana,
Yes.
this country,
Yes.
sit down with one of our own brother to tell this nation how much money we gonna get. How much money we gonna get on that one-sided contract.
Yeah.
Man, Miss Harris, if this is not I pass, then what is? Kaieteur News did an independent review, Uncle and Auntie. We did an independent review of over 130 oil contracts around this world and found that none resemble the obscene, dirty, robbing provisions like what we have in our oil contract from Exxon. None.
That's
Very
right.
surprised.
That's right.
Not one of those contracts
Yes.
got a 2% royalty that is recoverable along with a 50-50 profit share in which Guyana has no say on costs.
But he didn't tell Critic that.
Huh? My gosh. Uncle, the IMF reviewed our contract and said it is in favor of the oil companies rather than Guyana. The IDB did their own study and said Guyana gave away a lot to the oil companies. The World Bank agreed with its international partners and went further to say that too much for Guyana was left on the negotiating table.
Yes.
Global Witness, Ms. Harris, an independent human rights organization, also said after their investigation of this contract that Guyana left 55 billion American dollars on the table at the time of the negotiation with ExxonMobil.
Routledge saying that we got a good deal.
We got the best deal. International experts, uncle, all over the world said they have never seen a contract with so many loopholes in their entire career. One of them in particular said he never saw so many dangerous provisions in one place. You hear that?
And he said,
In one place, man.
and he said we got a good deal.
Even our own Attorney General, Anil Nandalal, has said in and out of Parliament that this is the worst contract on planet Earth.
But now he's quiet.
Bernard?
Say it again. Say that again.
Anil Nandalal said inside Parliament and outside of Parliament that this contract is the worst on planet Earth.
Wow.
And this white man got the nerve to tell us we couldn't get nothing better.
We got the best contract.
Uncle, to just say every day on every program Guyana is being robbed, raped, and sodomized by ExxonMobil and others with this oil contract is not justice. It is not. You need to understand how you're being juked or poked in your eyes wide open, and how all of us will go blind without getting a reasonable share of the oil. Our own God-blessed oil.
Blind and hungry. Yes.
I want to use the rest of this program tonight, Auntie and Uncle, to shine you and open your eyes
Yes.
in the simplest of way I can.
Yes.
I want to play back. Could you play back Routledge again? Play it on the radio, let these people hear.
Why, if I might ask in this forum, have Guyanese gotten such a bad contract? That is what I'm getting from.
It's far from the truth. This is the best contract the country has ever had, the most valuable contract for the country. I mean, it is already delivering unprecedented revenues to the country and to the Natural Resource Fund, and it will deliver huge amounts more in the future. We're really only just getting going.
Oh, brother. Oh, sister. I need help. You guys heard him. That is the man who representing ExxonMobil in Guyana. You know, it's 37 minutes of that tape. I swear it. That was the first question asked to him, and I didn't go further into the tape. I didn't go further into the tape. I plan tomorrow I'll sit and listen to the rest, and I'll deal with it as I get it. But let me break this thing down for you people. How many of you understand what cost recovery is? Bernard? You think a lot of people understand?
Most of them do not. Most
All
guys
right.
do not.
Well, I'm going to break this thing down for people who don't understand or who didn't really get it. cost recovery, what it means, and all the things that are part and parcel of those two words, cost recovery. Auntie, cost recovery is every single cent the oil company spends from beginning to where we are now, that must be paid back. You hear me, Bernard? And let me repeat this thing, man. Cost recoverable, uncle, is all the oil money they spend from back then to today that must be paid back up front before we get that dirty, stinking 50-50 profit that the white man talk about. This is where they take off your underwear without you even knowing it, uncle. This is where the wholesale robbery of your oil takes place. This is where you're getting shafted left, right, and center. This is where they're thieving off your billions upon billions of US dollars in which those clungs for politicians allowing them to do. This is where the raping and sodomizing taking place on all of us with this contract, uncle. Out of everything, this is where we are getting the biggest joke in our eyes wide open. When them done with Guyana, you wouldn't even have eyes to see this country, much less to see the money. Yeah, man, it's true. Let me put this thing as simple as I can for you, uncle and auntie. You and your neighbor decide to start a business, and all the profit will be shared half and half after all the expenses come out. Bernard, you hear me?
Yeah.
You and your neighbor plan to do a business to share the profit half and half when all the expenses come out. That is very simple. Your neighbor, this is the contract. Your neighbor doing all the buying for the business, and every day he buy an item, he double the price, he pay and give you the bill for it. What becomes of your profit? I hear you. I could hear you through the radio, you know. What becomes of your profit? You really get it half and half there? When he buy 50 packets of milk, sugar, flour, rice, salt, oil, and so on, he tell you buy 100 of each item instead of 50 and bill you for 100 each. And he doing the same thing with every other item he buys for the shop. What do you think will happen to the 50-50 profit, Bernard? Huh?
50. You're lucky if you get 5 much as 50.
Is it still a 50-50 profit sharing?
No.
What is your partner doing to you there, Bernard?
Joking.
Huh?
He joking all over, not only, right?
Is that a clean, decent, and honest partner you have there, uncle?
Hell no.
Huh?
Hell no.
Is ExxonMobil a decent, honest, and clean partner? When Guyana doesn't know the price and the quantity of milk powder and the other items being used and billed to Guyana? Huh? Is that a real 50-50 business between Guyana and ExxonMobil?
No.
Thank you. I hope you're beginning to see where I'm coming from on this 50-50 profit share. We knew Manager Routledge said is the best contract ever for this country. I hope you're beginning to see and feel the finger that are already poking you in your eyes with this 50-50 profit sharing. This bare-faced massa boasting about. The 50% that he says bringing in the unprecedented revenues to our country. Yes. Where the unprecedented revenue there, uncle? Where we new slave master? You could tell us? People starving every day in Guyana. Could you help us to locate it? The unprecedented revenue that you talk about? Ms. Harris? Cost recovery. Cost recovery. Never forget those two words, auntie and uncle. Money they have to take out. What them said to spend. And you never see, never know, or never verify and check. That is the 50-50 sharing. The massa trying to slide down your throat with his smooth words. Transportation, uncle. Your neighbor went to town, buy the goods that he already robbing you on. Hire a truck for $20,000 to bring the stuff to the business. And he tell you pay the truck man $40,000. That's a 50-50 business, eh? That's how we run 50-50 business. Yes. That's how we country running 50-50 business. He doubled the transportation costs on you, and that is 50-50. ExxonMobil hiring supply boats, trucks, and helicopters every hour of the day for the last 3 years, paying them billions in US dollars that no one knows how much it really costing us. And that is what you call 50-50 profit sharing, Miss Harris, according to this new massa Guyana get. Manager Routledge. ExxonMobil, Bernard, hiring security services, taxi fleets, hiring consultants, top lawyers to fight the tax case against me, paying humongous US dollars that none of us knows. The true figures being paid for these services. All these monies that we don't know about, that we didn't authorize, the massa taken out as cost recovery before 50-50 profit is shared. This is what you call an honest, decent, transparent, 50% profit sharing business with your neighbor, uncle. That's how Guyana do business. These clungs we have. I keep explaining this thing this way, uncle, for you guys to understand that this is the real contract within the one-sided contract where the shaft is given to Guyana. Cost recovery. True cost recovery. This is where Guyana gets the pole. And I don't know the length of the pole. Within the contract. That is the contract. That is the part of the contract, uncle, that we get in the pole. You're beginning to see the shaft? Your neighbor giving you? I hope you come into your senses, uncle and auntie. I want you guys to understand. And I want that clung critic to understand too. He's not stupid, you know. He's a smart kid. I tell you, he worked with me for over 2 years, man. So I know the man is smart. He had the same kind of answer I am talking about here to Routledge. But he chose not to pick him up or pick a fight or to speak up for the Guyanese people.
Maybe his instructions.
Well, yeah, they planned to make he look like
Happy show.
Exactly.
Uncle,
It is a happy show.
auntie, this is where the oil companies joking you, eyes wide open, and then turn back and tell you, we got the best contract ever, in which both parties getting 50-50 of the profits. This is legal and contractual robbery, uncle. This is contractual thievery and banditry, which is called doggery. One after the other going on, man. ExxonMobil buying a special cement that is used for the casing under the ocean floor. It is passed every day on the streets of Georgetown on these trucks. There is by special deadly chemicals and pipelines, spending billions on these 3 items alone. Spending billions of US dollars on these 3 items alone. We don't know if they're doubling the price or tripling the price, or if they're multiplying it by 10. But this money also has to come out in that 2 words, cost to recovery, before profit is shared. And that is what the new Manager Routledge, with these clowns we have parading themselves as politicians, call 50-50 profit sharing. You know, Miss Harris, something popped in my head. Your neighbor's son got his own business in another village. And when the neighbor buy goods for the 2 of your business, he stack up his son's business at the same time and put a bill upon you. You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah, man. What is this?
Oil companies got businesses all over the world. And when they buy pipelines, cement, and chemicals for Guyana, who's stopping them from sending half to another country where they're drilling? And Guyana foots the whole bill. Who's stopping them from doing that? Who's checking on that? That is what you call 50-50 Manager Routledge. People stupid in this country. Yes, we are dotish. You can go sit down on clung social media and talk to this country. Miss Harris, you getting the drift?
All the way.
I only hope, Uncle and Auntie, you people beginning to understand some more about this 50-50 profit share. Man, Bernard, aren't you enraged? Huh? Were you hearing him, man? Or you want to hear more?
I want to
You
hear
know,
more.
when my turn to talk, you hear about it or not.
I want to hear
You
more.
continue.
I am clear about this 50-50, man. Huh?
Yes.
They already say how to spend about 40 billion American dollars to date. 40 billion, you know. And these clowns we have didn't check anything yet. Oh, you like that one, man? You see the kind of money that has to come out as cost recovery before profits are being shared, uncle? Billions of US dollars already in the books on the oil companies that's supposed to be in our pockets. Is this what you call unprecedented revenues for Guyana Manager Routledge? Huh? Or you mean for your pockets and the company you work for? Auntie, with this type of dirty arrangement in the contract, with those 2 words, cost, recovery, prepare your children to eat mud cakes like the children in Haiti and all over the world, where corrupt leaders allow oil companies like ExxonMobil to rob and rape the people's resources. Man, if this thing is not corrected and fixed immediately, we would never see the unprecedented revenues this new massa talking about. This is not renegotiating the contract, you know, Ms. Harris.
Nope, not even.
Let me make that clear. I am not talking about renegotiating the contract. This is the part of the contract that is draining out your oil basin, draining your money, all for themselves. This is the real part of the contract that you people missing the boat with. The costs, the inflated costs in the billions that we don't know and no one telling us anything about it. Y'all hear the massa talk about how profit sharing, 50-50, and the best contract ever. That's the 50-50 are you getting? That is the 50-50 we got Aubrey Norton and a set of people rallying over high cost of living. That is the 50-50 that got President Ali borrowing money, paying interest to give a little handouts as grants and call it we care money. We care. I told you about hiring, uncle. How Exxon hiring. Now let me tell you about renting. Another area where that two words cost recovery come into play again. This is not 2-cent money I'm talking about, uncle. This is billions in US dollars too. You and ExxonMobil renting FPSOs, those floating ship out there. Y'all renting buildings and homes, renting rigs and oil and drill ships. And you don't know. We don't know. You don't have a clue as to the price those things are being rented for. But all this rent money has to come out in cost to recovery before 50-50 profit can be shared, uncle. Yes. Yes. This is how you will allow your neighbor to run. This is how you would allow your neighbor to run the toy business, Ms. Harris?
At all.
Then share profit?
Nope, not me.
Ms. Harris?
I want everything.
Not even a moron or a full idiot, a junkie, a drunk man, or a madman would allow any partner to do this to them.
And yet,
What ExxonMobil is being allowed to do to Guyana is not 50-50 business. It's a gangster business being perpetuated on all of us with our eyes wide open. And then this new Manager Routledge got the nerve to tell us Guyana is getting unprecedented revenues that Guyana never saw going into we bank book. And how much more are we going to get very soon? Man, uncle, if this thing doesn't enrage you, if this crime against this nation, against you and me, is not stopped now, then we might as well tie a rope round we neck and jump off the Borbies Bridge or the Demerara Harbor Bridge, man. You better do that. If this cost recovery, highway robbery I'm talking about here, doesn't bring you out into the streets in a rage, if this doesn't wake up civil society, uncle, then something is wrong. If this doesn't wake up the business sector, the GCCI, the private sector, in which all of us can benefit much, much more, then I am lost for words, uncle. If this doesn't wake up President Ali, Jagdev, Norton, and Ramjatan, then It is all up to God Almighty to help us here. What do you say, Miss Harris? If these things doesn't wake up this society, then God have to help us.
Yep. Deliver us.
But let me say this, and let me say it loud to Manager Routledge. As for me and my team at the Kaieteur News, staying silent, doing nothing, accepting this wholesale thievery, yes, that your company and the rest of the oil company is doing to us, is not an option. It's an opportunity to continue the fight with even more energy and rage, even if it costs us our lives. I want you, Massa. Yes. I want President Ali and all the politicians to hear this, read this, smell it and know this. After my visit to Africa and what I saw for myself firsthand, what the foreigners did and continue to do in Africa to our brothers and sisters there, surrendering will be a betrayal to our people and the worst kind of treason on this country. It will be equivalent of joining with the enemies of this country to leave generations to come to live in the way the Africans living in Africa that I saw. That can never happen. It will never happen under my stewardship. Your neighbor buying drill bits, uncle. Drill bits. Another expensive piece of equipment to drill the ocean floor. Searching for your oil every day. That money also have to come out from that two words, cost, recovery, before you get profit. And you don't know the price they're paying for any. You don't know the price they're paying for the many thousands them said they're buying and said they're using. We don't know nothing, Miss Harris. We don't even know if they're buying the drill bits to send to other countries. We don't know that. Man, if this thing doesn't enrage you, y'all better stop talking about oil, and I ever see if I ever live with 2 crabs and cockabelly fish, and stop complaining about cost of living. Auntie, what I said there are only some of the things off the top of my head that our politicians are allowing the new Manager Routledge and his companies to do to us. There are hundreds more that I didn't mention, in which billions are spending, that we don't know. We don't have a clue as to what is going on, and has to come out as cost recovery before profit is being shared. I never forget my Trini friend, God bless his soul, Francis. He was stuck here in Guyana, got COVID and died. He said to me, Glenn, I spent 36 years of my life in the energy sector in Trinidad and Tobago. He worked in every department of the oil sector. He was responsible for investigating and sending many crooked and corrupt people to jail for corruption. He said to me, Glenn, there are a million ways in which the oil companies can and will take your clothes off without you knowing. And I never forget that. We are living with that under the umbrella of those 2 words now, Uncle and Auntie, cost recovery. Every bolt, nut, and screw, the price they hand you is unbelievable. And that is 50-50. Miss Harris,
Wow.
please let me end by sharing another sweet part of this oil business with you. Oil is being pumped every single day and night out there. And none of us knows how much is being pumped and fetched away. Unprecedented money, that is, Bernard.
For who?
Unprecedented revenue.
We don't know how much oil is being pumped and fetched away every day for the last 3 years. Under the coalition, we used to get a figure. Now we now get no figure. Here is one. None of us also know what is the cost to pump a barrel of oil.
We can't do that. We can't get the profit.
But we do know, is that all the cost has to come out as cost recovery before you share profit. You neighbor picking you mangoes. You don't know how much mangoes the man picking. And you don't know how much money the man taking out to pick your mango. So let me ask you, Miss Harris. How you doing a 50-50 business there, man? Is that a 50-50 partnership business? Huh? Is what kind of magic your neighbor coming up with? When the day come to give you this 50-50 profit? Huh? Tell me what these clowns for politicians really doing to you in this country, man. Is this 50-50 business, Massa? Is this what you really call 50-50, in which we can get unprecedented revenue? That's the way we can get it? All right, before I take your phone calls, let me share the last piece. Yesterday, the Stabroek News reported that the audit of the $9 billion US in the Payara cost is underway. I'm pretty much certain I've said it before, and I want to repeat it. Jagdeo hired an auditing firm under the leadership of a man named Floyd Haynes, a Guyanese, to verify the $9 billion US and give the company, listen to this piece, he hired a man for audit the $9 billion and give the man an unheard time limit of 4 months to carry out the checks.
Wow.
$9 billion.
$9 billion for 4 months. Does he really want a proper audit on that $9 billion done? Huh?
Doubtful.
Or he just want a show, a puppy show, to tell Guyana he's doing something?
Poppy show, exactly.
Huh? All that is coming out as cost recovery that he didn't check, didn't verify. He gave the man 4 months to check and verify that. Yeah. But that is not what I want to end with tonight, Miss Harris. I want to tell you what the man who's heading the auditing team said in the Stabroek News that really set me off after I read it. After I read it yesterday. Yeah, man, yesterday. In my hammock. The man said, Miss Harris, the idea that Exxon has been overbilling and overcharging is grossly misleading, and it is not fair to mislead the public. When I read that, what a man said,
He's checking.
the idea that Exxon has been overbilling and overcharging is grossly misleading, and it is not fair to mislead the public. Man, when I read this thing, I said, no. Maybe Stabroek just made a mistake. You know? Overbilling Haynes, overcharging is grossly misleading. Is this the man that we really pick for audit $9 billion from Exxon? Huh? Man, I don't think so. Can we really believe or trust these findings with those words, Ms. Harris? Can we believe and have confidence in him to do a good job after what he said there? Man, uncle, all auditors are expected to approach any project they're assigned to with an open mind, which helps them to be objective, meaning fair and balanced in their approach, so that the results they produce have credibility. But having heard what Floyd Haynes said there, why does it seem he has already concluded in his head from this early stage that Exxon is the one being victimized and not Guyana? Huh? Can we really get a fair and clean audit with Jagdev on this man? Huh? Having seen Jagdev give him 4 months, and what this man is saying, it's unfair to say Exxon is.
We're defending
Huh?
Exxon already.
I think we got already prepared.
ExxonMobil, Floyd Haynes.
Ready to slide?
ExxonMobil has been caught ripping off countries all over the world, including their own country, America. And this is what Floyd Haynes, who auditing $9 billion for Guyana, telling us. The idea that Exxon has been overbilling and overcharging is grossly misleading, and it is not fair to mislead the public. Man, when I read those words, I feel like cry. I feel like cry for Guyana. But let me say this tonight, and this may sound strange. I want to end with this. It may look strange. Miss Harris, all my life to this day, Uncle and Auntie, no one has ever buy me a drink, with the exception of no more than 3 or 4 people in my lifetime. I never like to depend on people for anything. If I don't have, I do without. If I can't do something by myself, I don't do it at all. Uncle and Auntie, tonight, even though I don't feel comfortable asking for help, I have to. The lawyers that are helping me with that tax case I brought against the government of Guyana, yes, need some more money to continue the fight for ExxonMobil to pay their fair share of taxes. I have asked 2 friends only, who give me $1 million each, and I put 1 from my pocket. That is $3 million. But when I see the work, the time, energy, the effort the lawyers put in so far, the $3 million is nowhere enough to pay those guys. I have to get at least $75,000 more US, or 15 million Guyana dollar. I am certain there are many supporters willing to back this fight. This fight that I'm carrying to the government to ensure Exxon and the oil companies pay their right share of taxes. Come on, Master Routledge. You're doing all these things to us, taking away the oil and the taxes to man. Huh? You're taking away the oil, now you're taking away the taxes. Huh? A citizen of this country have to move to the High Court for that too. ExxonMobil seek, hire and pay the best lawyers money can buy to join the government to fight me and you, for we own taxes, uncle. Oh. And I must mention this. On Saturday, the OGGN organization had a 3-hour rally in New York. And Christopher Ram was one of the speakers. I had asked him to use that forum during his presentation to call on the audience for help, which he did. I subsequently saw someone say, why he don't do the case for free? I want to say this. He might get upset with me. Let me say it loud and clear to all the listeners. Christopher Ram has been one of the advisors in this case I brought, and he has never asked for a single cent, nor does he want a single cent for the work he has done. I just wanted to share that information with you guys. And now let me send you to bed with this one before I take your phone call. The millions ExxonMobil are paying those overseas senior counsels to fight me is not coming out from the Massa pocket or the oil company pocket. Let me repeat. Exxon them hire senior counsels outside Guyana to join with the government to fight against me, paying them millions upon millions. Hear this one, send I to bed with this one. That money too is also coming out as cost recovery before profit is shared to us.
Yep.
Me and you own oil money,
Fight till we
paying foreign lawyers to fight me
and you.
for all of us rightful share. How do you like that one, Uncle?
Love it.
Auntie? Me and you money, oil money, paying further to fight against me, who is fighting against the government and them, for Exxon to pay us, all of us, the rightful share of taxes. Man, how you like that one, man? Huh? May God bless you guys. Please join me Wednesday for more of what this new Massa, Manager Routledge, had to say. And tell your friends to join us. Since then, Guyana has discovered 10 times more oil. And instead, VP Jagdeo and President Ali call ExxonMobil back to the drawing board. They keep on approving more and more projects without correcting and getting a better deal. VP Jagdeo went ahead and approved Payara, the third project, and got not even a penny more for this nation. Jagdeo did not even correct the mistakes made in Liza 1 and 2 when he approved that third project. Months later, he went further and approved Yellowtail, the fourth oil project. And again, he got nothing, absolutely nothing, for the starving Guyanese out of that project. The mistakes made in Liza 1, 2, and 3 were not corrected in that fourth project. Not even the guarantee Exxon parent company promised in Liza 1, 2, and 3 to give us full liability coverage in the event of an oil spill was not secured in the fourth project he approved. Both projects, 20 billion American dollars, was without a proper and comprehensive export review. Again, he did not heed the advice of experts to install ring fencing provision to prevent ExxonMobil from taking advantage on us with US billions. He did not even get the oil companies to pay their taxes on the oil they're fetching away out this country. Something that every working Guyanese pays in this land. Now, he's gearing up to approve the 5th project, giving the oil companies the biggest Christmas gift they would have ever had in their lifetime. Brothers and sisters, having heard all of that, are you going to sit quiet and allow him to grant this 5th approval without correcting the mistakes and securing a better deal for all of us? This is a message from Glenn LALL.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara, an